9 o'clock. I'm later than I anticipated, and I'm already in my jammies, so we're just gonna do a couple things and chit chat for a second. I'm trying to make a box. If anyone's wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to make a box. Because that feather smudger that I made Sunday while I was on the live sold already. And it's just a little bit longer than the box that I have. So I'm going to try to make a triangle shaped box out of one box and piece it together and send it. Because I'm cheap. And because shipping is horrendous. If I can save somebody $1, I'm going to. Especially if that person is me. So I'm on later than I thought I'd be on because Loretta Lynn passed away today. And that just kind of took the wind out of my sails, and I just had to take a moment. I just had to kind of take a moment and mourn Loretta. So sad. We're losing so many people. We're losing so many people. And it's such a weird... Hi, China. Hi, Rachel. Oh, Cats is back. But yeah, it took me a minute. I had to have a moment thinking about Miss Loretta and kind of give her a send off in my brain. If anybody understands that, that's kind of how I work. Also, my friend that passed away last Christmas Eve, he was a huge Loretta fan, so I'm sure he's tracking her down in heaven for a one-on-one interview right now as we speak. Because I can see him doing that. So I am just trying to make a quick little box here so I can save some money. Hi, music. Yeah, it's really it's sad when we lose those people that really have been a voice of our nation and a voice of kind of a voice for everybody. It's really sad, and it hits us all different, but it hits us all definitely. So I just had to take a minute. My favorite song from her is the High on a Mountaintop, which she actually did. Oh, that was that horrible noise. Which she actually did. I believe she actually did that one in the late 90s or early 2000s, High on a Mountaintop. And it was always, Mom always tried to put her music in her Appalachia program. And so she always put Coal Miner's Daughter and High on a Mountaintop in that program so that everybody was exposed to the music. And they even went and performed that at Dollywood and the Museum of Appalachia, and my mom really enjoyed kind of keeping the old ways front and center and keeping people thinking about the old music and the old ways of life and how people lived. She was always kind of a champion for that cause. And I always enjoyed helping her with those things. So we spent lots of time together working on her Appalachia program for her. It was her 5th grade class that did it. And it was like the whole community loved it. It was a huge deal for the whole community. So I don't really care for Dollywood either, to be quite honest. It is not my favorite place. I think I've been there twice, and most of those were school trips that I like helped chaperone. It's not my favorite. I'm not a kind of adventure parks theme place. No, it's just not me. But some people apparently really like them, so more power to them. Oh, the noises I'm making. Woo! But it certainly did hit me hard today when I learned that Miss Loretta had passed away. That is someone that is irreplaceable in our demographic and who really, really, really championed for Appalachia and respect for Appalachians. And we're going to miss her. We're going to miss her and all she did for our community, because she was really an important role model for our area. And I swear somebody needs to go like bubble wrap Dolly Parton right now. Bubble wrapper, because I'm concerned. The way the world's going, I'm getting concerned. And I am just not willing to lose Dolly. So somebody go bubble wrap that woman. Oh yeah, I didn't like the theme parks and being stuck there and standing in lines. I just don't care for them. I would rather go to like Cades Cove and be out in nature and kind of have a slower pace of the day. Some people really like it though. So, and I always think it's funny when they think they experienced Appalachia because they went to Dollywood. I'm like, no, honey, no, honey. That's not Appalachia. It's Dollywood. I always get tickled. The fact that you have to explain that they're two separate things is that always tickled me. But, you know, people think what they want to think. Singing rocks give you nightmares. They do have some weird things at theme parks. I have noticed that too. I've been like, who thought this up? What were they tripping on? I watched a Cirque du Soleil event, which was really pretty, but it made me wonder, you know, how do they come up with these things? Are they okay? And that's just where my mind goes. So I'm just one of those people. I always digest things a little differently than others. But that's okay. It takes all kinds of material to go around. So I'm gonna take this off, but I'm not gonna like latch it to the other one until I actually get the thing in there and make sure that it's gonna fit just right and not have any extra space. Band parents sleeping in the grass from boredom. I remember being the chaperone and being like, oh my gosh, we're here till 5. What in the world? I need more tape. Yeah, David's going to have to get me more tape. I'm going to have to take this post office in the morning and have my favorite post office attendee help me. I just officially ran out of tape. I have to go buy me a roll before I do much more. I can get this stuck right here, though, and that'll work. Better than nothing. This is how I made a triangle box to ship that smudge feather in. The longer one with the long turkey feather in the tail. It's sold. So that's going to be my box to ship it. And I'll tape it better tomorrow when I get to the post office. I made myself lots of little trashies. Gotta have to throw these away. I have cleaned my kitchen and done 3 loads of laundry and cleaned the bathroom. I've done quite a bit today. I'm amazed at how much I've actually done. So very proud of myself. Very proud of myself. And then I even rested for a few minutes because I thought, Lord have mercy, I've overdone it. So I rested for a few minutes. David cut this in 2 for me before he left for work. Thank you, Denise. David cut these for me before he went to work. So I'm going to make, both ends were chewed by the beavers. So I'm going to make 2 handles for 2 more sticks. And since we've got that, I don't know how much battery I have left in my drill, but we shall see. Probably not a lot. But since we've got that event, not this weekend, but next, yeah, we're gonna have to be charging some stuff around this house. Since we've got that event, I figured I might as well try to get a head start. Oh no, come on, you love me more than that. No, he doesn't. But I thought I'd get a head start on some of the smaller items. So here I am trying to get a head start, and nobody plugged their grill up, David. But he's not working super late tonight, so he can plug it up when he gets home. Yes, I'm going to send the man to the building when he gets home to plug up the drill. I'm going to be a horrible mean wife. So, has everybody composted what happened this morning? I had somebody message me and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I thought it was sweet that they checked on me though, but I was like, "No, yeah, I'm fine." And I may put 2 in this because this is so cute. I may put 2 in this. But they watched it and the chat had not loaded yet, so they were not really aware of what had been said. They were like, "I'm watching this, but the chat hasn't loaded, so I don't really know what was said." And I was like, "It's okay, don't worry about it." I was like, it's just somebody having a bad day, and you don't have to worry about it. I don't like the way that looks. But they were like, they came to your channel and said that, well, you can come to this channel and say whatever you want. It doesn't mean I'm going to leave you here, but I mean, you can come here and voice your opinion. And if I think you're trying to be halfway nice, I'll talk to you about it. But yeah, it's so funny because what was really to me a key indicator that this person was not having a very lucid talk with herself was that they were claiming I was bullying when I've only ever gone to my channel and spoken about this with my sub base, and I try to do it in a very respectful manner. But they came to my page to bully me, but they swear they're not bullying people. I was just like, okay. And that is just the different perspectives that are on both sides of the argument, and that we all have to kind of realize is out there in the world. I do kind of like that, and then wrap that. I do kind of like that. That's kind of cute, and that's a perfect little handle. I need to glue him in there and wrap him though, and maybe put a dangle or 2. But they won't see that as themselves, and they won't see themselves as the bully. They have to put that off on somebody else. And, you can try to reason with them. And I really thought that for a minute, if, I tried to reason, they would kind of come around and be like, "Oh, I am doing exactly what I'm saying is wrong. Oh, maybe I should think about this before I take these actions." But it was just, this is not the first time that person has made comments or sent stuff and really belligerently, had a violent moment about that. And so I knew after today's little behavior that it was not going to be anything that improved. So that is why I was just like, go ahead and block. And, because there is a time to draw a line and say no more. And I just felt that I was there. And that line's different for everybody, but I hit it this morning, so I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to leave that out like that. I could cut it. I was kind of maybe wanting to wrap something around it, but let's cut it and see what happens. Them little suckers can fly. I always grit my teeth and close my eyes. Okay, that is cuter. It is cuter down lower. Okay. Okay. The little know-it-all in my head is like, okay, see, I told you. Okay. But you run across all kinds, and And sadly, they, normally what they want to cry about is something that they're kind of self-perpetuating, but they will never admit to that. And so when you go on the internet, you caught my replay, thought I handled it well. Sounds like my husband. Okay, China C, have a good night. But when you go onto the internet and you interact with people, it's very important that you realize everyone has different ways of thinking. And everyone has different beliefs. And, I can accept that she believes that way, and I can accept, and that is her belief pattern, and that she's firm in her belief, but it doesn't mean that I have to accept her belief as mine. And I think that's where she got really irritated with me, is that, I was allowing her to speak, but I wasn't swallowing what she was trying to dish out. And that made her very angry. And you should never get angry at people for not kowtowing to you. If you ever find yourself in a situation where people are kowtowing to you or just laying themselves down as sacrificial lambs in front of you, be terrified. Question yourself as to why you're there and what's going on, because that is not a healthy environment. You should always be challenged, and you should always surround yourself with people that are going to question you, especially if you're going off in the tall weeds and getting a little lost. You kind of want people that love you enough to go, hello? Are you okay? That seems a little odd. Can we talk about it? And those are the people that you need around you. You need to be challenged. And I certainly don't take any beefs that I have to other channels. I pretty much voice it on my channel. And if you want to hear it, you have to come here and listen to it. You have to voluntarily come here and click on it and listen to it. I'm not going to go chase somebody down and make them absorb my thought pattern. Forceful assimilation is a negative thing. It doesn't mean you have someone that is embracing your way or your viewpoint out of respect and love. It just means that they feel they don't have an option. And I want people to feel that they have an option. And I certainly don't chase people down and try to be mean to them. But I do certainly try to have conversations that might create a dialogue and challenge people's perspectives. So that's what I like to do, and that's what I was trying to do today. And sadly, she wasn't having it. But, not everybody is going to like you, and not everybody is going to, go down the same path you go down, and that's okay as well. And but she will have to figure out on her own, and without any aid from me, that chasing people around the internet and calling them very nasty names is not a way to win hearts. It's not a way to win hearts, and it's not a way to make any friends. And so it's, I feel kind of bad for her that she's trapped in such a emotional mindset about that stupidity, because it's what it is. It was stupidity. When you back away from it, it was two grown people that had words on the internet, that chose to be on the internet, and both are having consequences for having words on the internet. And at the end of the day, what is more important is to have the discussions and to talk about these missing kids, and to talk about the questions that we have as a nation about these missing kids. That's what's important. And so to try to make either one of those people more important than that is just ridiculous, if you ask me. So there's so many people trying to carry on this enabling negativity thing, and it's really overshadowing what we should be talking about, which is the number of children that are missing, the fact that our nation does not really look for missing children in a way that makes us feel that they're competent. And look at that. Is that not, that's just simple and beautiful. I mean, that's just simplicity, and it's adorable. That's amazing. Now, I'd already lacquered this, and David cut it for me, so I'll have to lacquer the top, but that's not a big deal. But it really overshadows, you know, the true horror, which is what we are capable of doing to each other as human beings. And that is, it's the scary part that we need to talk about. So I'm just going to take a minute and preen the feathers here and get any loose pieces off. Pluck anything that's sticking out. He's got one little feather that wants to stick out the wrong way, and I'm going to cut it off. One little pin feather. Okay. There we go. There's that one. And I think what makes that so pretty is it fits your hand perfectly, but the beaver chew is what makes it so pretty, if you ask me. So I'm going to leave that one super simple and put a smaller price tag on that for its simplicity and let somebody that loves it have it. David on Thursday is cutting a lot of the wood that we're going to be using for beginning a lot of the seasonal stuff. And so after Thursday, we will probably start rotating to some seasonal crafts. So we're going to be doing some gnome stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and prep you for that. Y'all know my love of gnomes. So we're going to be doing some gnome stuff. And we're going to incorporate as much of nature into the gnomes as possible. And we're going to try to use our way of not wasting anything to make the gnomes. So we've got a lot of beaver chew sticks that we're going to be turning into gnome ornaments. So it's going to be interesting. I hope you enjoy it. And we're going to make them, we're going to try to make the ornaments like $8. Of course, you have to pay for shipping. Shipping is the necessary evil. I hate shipping. But we're going to try to make them affordable so that everybody that wants one can get one. And shipping really is the kicker with a lot of this Etsy stuff. I just have to say it. Shipping is not my favorite thing. So I don't really enjoy dealing with shipping, but it's a necessary evil. And so we deal with it. But we're going to try to make them as lightweight as possible out of the materials we're using. And we're going to try to send them in bubble mailers so that they are cheaper to ship, and they should be durable enough that they will not get damaged in the process. So we really thought this through, and we're really going to try to make just a bunch so that everybody that really wants a craft for us can get one and not be out a bunch of money. So that's where we're coming from right now. For some of our Christmas stuff. It's really important that we kind of give everybody a bracket to purchase from. And that can be difficult. I mean, especially when y'all see me making these big, really like ceremonial things. And those are like specialty items. And lots of times if you want something smaller, I can make something smaller. I have one dream catcher left that I wove for the Pumpkin Festival. And I don't know if I should put it on Etsy or if I should save it for the next sale. I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what I should do. It's very pretty. It's got possum fur on it. It's very pretty. Yeah, Denise, they can have an opinion. They just need to be respectful. Yeah, oh, thank you. I love y'all too. But yeah, once she called me the butthole, I was like, okay, we're not having a productive encounter right now, so I'm just going to disengage and she can go away. And boundaries are healthy, but I try to have my beefs here, and that way, you know, you only have to live through them if you come here and desire to. But I just think people have a very unhealthy way of looking at things these days. Like, they will petition to let murderers out of jail, you know, early, revoke bail, options so that people can basically get out of jail on heinous crimes without any money down, or not revoke bail, but do away with bail, and they'll ask for softer laws because so many people are in jail, and blah, 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 blah. And then when they've asked for people that are violent, aggressive offenders to be, for the law to lax on them, then on the flip side, go absolutely postal about someone saying a word or calling someone a name. And it's like, you do understand that your side of the world here is asking to generate these soft laws on these heinous crimes, but on these tiny infractions, you're asking for the smackdown, and that does not compute. It's like, that does not make sense. Why are we doing this, And so it's always been like, it's always bumfuzzled me how people can justify those two polar opposites in their brain. I don't get it, but some people do. And Ryan calling her a name was violent, and she was a victim, but then that person came into my life and called me a name, but it wasn't violent, and I wasn't apparently a victim. It's just like, hang on, I'm trying to find the baseline. Because the heart of this, I really want to understand where they're coming from. But honey, if I've got to part the Red Sea to follow your footprints, we're going to need Jesus, God, and all the angels to help, because that's a hidden trail. I'm pretty good at following our tracks, but those might be a little hidden, a little convoluted, a little windy. And so it gets a little, off-putting to people when, your behavior and your request of their behavior has so many kiss your butt curves that you lose the plot. I have no idea what that big sound was. Let's go see what that big sound was. Stay. It was a huge truck without a muffler, and he revved it when he pulled into the road over there. So, oh, Denise, thank you. After these vendor sales and I craft for the Christmas, I'll be sending you more stuff. I've just got to get sedentary long enough to do stuff other than vendor sale stuff. It's been so crazy around here, especially with David's hours the last few months. It's been horrible. Oh yeah, we do a lot of gnomes. I make the sock gnomes, the bottle gnomes. We're going to be making the scrapwood gnomes, the pine cone gnomes. We're going to be doing lots of gnomes. So you're going to learn how to make a gnome out of anything. So once you sit down and go through me with a gnome tutorial, you're going to be just able to look around your home and find stuff to turn into gnomes. So it's amazing. Like, I've got a flannel shirt that I got at a thrift store for $1, and it was just too tight on David's shoulders. And I was like, cool, it's going to be gnome hats. And I've got it over here in my crafting pile. So I get really creative. I'm glad she's still sleeping good. That makes me happy, Denise. Oh, you just bought a house? Well, congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, once we get through this vendor stuff, we're going to be putting a lot online. And it's weird because I just put that other thing online Sunday and it already sold. And so it seems like every time I try to load the store, people show up and just buy it. And so this is a lady that's bought from us before that came back for more. So I always like it when they come back for more because it means, hey, they like my stuff. So that makes me feel better. That makes me know that they really do appreciate my work. So that makes me feel good. I'm going to have to go buy more boxes. I'm having to get creative and create boxes now, which my postal service is really good. They're like, as long as it sticks together, Elizabeth, we'll mail it. So I have a really good postal service here. I have a really good local office. So, Boy, that truck is loud. He's just running the roads. He's probably spotlighting. Which is really stupid because the deer are not starting to move through here yet. Well, he's going to blow a head gasket. You're going to send a rod through something, boy. I hope y'all can hear him. It's comical it's comical. We don't have a lot of loud noises around here, and so it's always odd when I hear one. But yeah, we're gonna be doing lots of gnome stuff and lots of new smaller items. And David has made some huge framed beaver pelts, beaver hoops, but they have to sell local because they're huge. They're ginormous. And I'm going to be making, I'm probably going to be doing some wood burning on some items this year. That's my hope. One thing I get to this year. I didn't get to it last year, but I hope I get to it this year. And so I may be doing some wood burning on some big spoons and some serving trays, or like the little, I keep trays all over my house for like remotes and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to burn some of those freehand with seams and just anything that strikes me, to be quite honest. I just have to have a good hand day to sit down with that burner, because that burner can be dangerous if you have a trimmer. So I have to be very sure that my hands are stable that day before I sit down and try to work with that burner. Lane has got a really nice one that I may swap from him for a day or two and do some burning. So I may swap Lane's. But we're going to be doing lots of crafts, lots of smaller stuff, lots of ornaments, and lots of stuff that you can go and buy and, you know, get out of it with shipping with like, you know, $15 or under is our hope. And that way it opens up for more people to be able to purchase stuff. And David is thinking very soon about getting an embossing machine that has his logo on it, so that when he makes like his leather keychains and stuff, he can emboss his logo on the back. I've told him until then, while he's putting the lighter backs on stuff, he should get an ink logo and just stamp it and let it dry. So it still has his logo on it. It's just an ink and it can dry and can go off. But so he's thinking about it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm going to be making more of my weird stuff. And I do like to make animals. I know this is crazy. I've still got Armando. This is Armando, my Angora goat. And he is basically an ornament. He's just a gigantic ornament. But I love him because he's just so fat and cute. Now, I carved his head and I inset his eyes and I gave him eyelids. And he's got moving eyes. They move. And I carved his little horns. And painted him and gave him a big poofball body and would-be legs. And he's just, you know, for somebody that has goat farm or something, he'd be cute. And I left wood around on it so they could put their last name on it for the farm or whatever family that bought it. But Armando has been speaking to me lately about where he wants to live. So I think he may want to live elsewhere. But I love him. I think he's so cute. And I love to make little ornaments, and they always end up bigger than I anticipate. But I like to make ornaments and things that you can put on your tree, but you can also display year-round in your home if you want to. And I like whatnots. I think everybody should have a whatnot shelf, or have somewhere that you put things that mean something to you that may not mean anything to anyone else, but they mean something to you, and you put them where you can view them all year. And I keep gifts from friends over my kitchen counter because I spend a lot of time at my kitchen sink. And so when I look at my shelf above my kitchen counter, I see all my little things that my friends have sent me, and I think about my friends while I'm doing dishes or cooking, and it's nice. I enjoy that. So I keep a lot of my stuff up there, and I keep my little Freddy doll above my sink, and that reminds me when I'm washing the dishes and stuff to turn on music and to sing. And so I enjoy doing my dishes because I turn it into like concert central. So just little reminders that make you smile through your home, and, you know, just kind of remind you to have joy in your day. So that's what I like. Yes, this is Armando. Armando is so fat and cute. I love him. But Armando lately has been giving me vibes that he wants to live elsewhere. So he may end up somewhere else. But I think I'm going to make little piggy ornaments, and I'm going to make little black bear ornaments, and I'm going to probably do them like this, or with the the fabric stuffed into the styrofoam balls and then make the felt ears and little pom-pom legs and stuff like that. I'm going to try to get creative and do a couple of animals. I may do a beaver ornament just because David traps a lot of beaver, and I've always thought that would be cute, and I could do little felt teeth, ears, and a big flat felt tail. I could actually probably do a real beaver hair tail, which might freak some people out. But I've thought about doing some just random stuff because I don't mind to repetitively make stuff, and I don't mind to repetitively help David make things, but I like to sit down and make individual things. So I like to sit down with stuff and not really know what it's going to end up looking like, because that's normally when the magic happens and I make really cute things. So I think I'm going to try to shoot for that quite a bit as the weather cools and I have more time to sit here and craft as well. We're also cleaning the craft room, which is looking less and less like Chernobyl Daily. So pretty soon we'll be able to craft in there. And it has log cabin walls and camouflage mossy oak paneling. So it will be a change of scenery for sure, but I think y'all will like it. My granddaughter burnt a deer on wood and place. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, Denise, that is such a, oh, see, you could do so much with that to make little like reminders for the whole family. And every time they would see a little reminder, like a keychain or something, that it would remind them to go visit or to at least have a thought. In my mind, if you remember the people that have passed on, then they never really leave you. So when my grandmother passed away, I wanted her dish rags, and my aunts thought I was crazy. No fires. Good, China. And my aunt thought I was crazy because I just wanted her dish rags, but I use her dish rags, and I still have one in rotation, and every time I would use them, I would think of her. So that's why I wanted them. It made me think of her. And I think my aunts thought I was crazy, but that's what I wanted. So I've got, from my friend that passed away in December, the brother has got me some yard figurines that I'm going to pick up as soon as we can coordinate to get together, just so that when I see them, I think of him. And of course, I think of him every day because there's something funny I want to tell him. He's not here anymore, but I think he gets the memo anyway. But those little reminders are such powerful things because it kind of keeps you, it keeps that person resonating in your life, and it keeps you in kind of a memory platform. And I think the most respectful thing you can do for someone that's passed on is just remember them. And so I'm all for little things that prod the memory and make you, take 5 seconds out of your day to remember someone you love. So I'm all about that. That's one of my big things is memory ornaments and stuff like that. Oh, that's terribly sweet and cute and sad and precious all at the same time. See, that's sweet. That sounds like something that I would do. I have a huge heart, and I am it's probably a bad thing at times because people can take advantage of me, but it's so important to be able to do stuff that has those meanings to you and to not be ashamed to do those things. A lot of people don't want to show emotion in certain in certain ways anymore. Or they'll show emotion only on platforms for likes and super chats, but they will show no one any sympathy or empathy in their life around them. And oh, that's sweet. It keeps going. Keeps going. That's sweet. That gives me so many ideas to sneak stuff to you. You have no idea. So now my brain is just humming with ideas. That gives me ideas. So that's sweet. But yeah, if anyone has like a special animal or something like that, then start commenting. And if it's something that I can try to make on a penny budget and do a cute ornament or something out of, we'll try to find a way to make a cheap one. And so that way you get an idea of something you can do super cheap. And if somebody comes up with one that I think is like beyond what I thought I could do, but they prod me to do it and I make it and it works out really well, I'll send it to you. So if you can come up with the most like outlandish idea, if I pick your idea and make your ornament and it actually turns out well, I will mail it to you. So everybody comment below like the most outlandish animal and the story behind it, why it means something to you, and get it on there, and I will kind of read through them and see which one strikes me the funniest, and I'll attempt to make it, and if I make it and it turns out good, I'll mail it to you as a thank you, and then I may reproduce it for a few times, but you'll get the original. I like challenges like that. Keep them coming. Everybody get some in. Oh, those are cute already. I have a leprechaun. My son looks like a leprechaun. So everybody for the next few days, post your animals. And as the live comments post to this, and then you can comment on the video itself when it loads, just leave me comments with every random animal and why you think that ornament needs to be made or what it means to you. And we'll pick one and we'll make it together. And I won't practice before. I'll have an idea, so I have like a table full of stuff, but I won't make one until I sit down to make it with you all. Chupacabra. That can be very interpretive. This is gonna be fun. Everybody's gonna have. We may end up making a few. So yeah, we'll have some fun with this. But Christmas time is kind of like my crafting time. We don't really buy a lot of gifts. We make each other gifts. We might buy a little stupid stuff. But the bulk of our Christmas is we always request that it's handmade. So it's something that you make for each other so that we can keep it. And so we really just kind of get together and see what we've made for each other, laugh a lot. Last year I made the kids all serving trays with their pictures transposed on them, and I shellacked them. And then I made them each a gnome that looked like them. So Haley's had a stethoscope for her veterinary medicine. Joe's had ducks from duck hunting. Lane's had an axe. And Kaylee's had an apron because she bakes. She cooks everything. And except for Oscar. Oscar, I did make him that little Oscar ornament, but when the lady ordered the plumber crack gnome, the little girl, her daughter, loved to watch Oscar videos so much that I sent the Oscar to the little girl. So I need to make a new Oscar this year. And now, since Haley's got Reggie, the corgi, I guess I'll have to make a corgi. Yeah. I guess I'll have to make all the dogs an ornament this year, too. Chase will be easy because he's long-legged and a string bean, but the hairy ones will be, and the corgi, you know, you have to have the corgi butt on the corgi, so that will be interesting. But I normally do try to, we buy one like ornament a year that is that year's ornament, and then I normally make a few funnies, and then if the kids come in and they laugh at them, I'm like, you can take it home with you if you want. And that's how I kind of get my ornaments, homemade ornaments on their trees at their home, and kind of start them creating these rituals at their home so that they kind of keep those things going. And, you know, that way I know maybe, you know, in the future, my grandkids will all remember the things that I used to do at Christmas as well. So we haven't made rock candy in several years. So I may ask Mom if she wants to make a batch of rock candy or a few batches of rock candy. We used to make it every year. Rock candy is great. It's extremely hot. You have to be super careful, but it's so good, and not many people make it anymore. So we may try to make some rock candy this year, and I may do a video about that. But mostly we get together and craft. Oh, you need a baby gnome. Oh, okay. That would be, I wonder, I'm going to have to think about that. I have an idea already, but I'm going to have to think about that to make sure it carries through and looks like a baby gnome. I have some ideas, though. And, of course, this is going to be Ellie Mae's first Christmas. So I have to, if we make rock candy, I'll send you some, Denise. I can't sell it or anything, but I'll send you some. Since this is going to be Ellie Mae's first Christmas, I'm going to try to make a lot of baby's first Christmas ornaments so that when the kids kind of get everything established, they will already have like a starter pack of homemade ornaments. Yeah, and just if I can make it look like a baby, though. that'd be, I could make its little face out of like the little thin material or even a packed pantyhose and then take my needle and sew in the face. I just want to make sure it looks like a baby and not like a dumpy little man. So that's, and I'd have to like blush the little cheeks or something and put a little curl on the forehead or something. I just have to make sure it looks like a baby. So I'll have to maybe plan for that a little bit. But I'm going to try to make a lot of ornaments this year so that they can take them home, and that way they get a head start on homemade ornaments for their family tree. I know she's got so much hair. She's got so much hair. And she was kind of cocking her head and laughing at me the other day, and she's just kind of giving me some little hiccup hee-haws, and I was just absolutely smitten with her. And then I said, next weekend, you get to stay with Mimi. And she went, and I snapped a picture of her little face, and then after I said that, and it was the cutest thing. I'll send them to you, Denise, so you can see them. But I can't share her face or nothing on the internet. I'm respecting my son and his wife's desire to keep her off the internet. But I can sneak a couple pictures to my closer friends. But she absolutely, it was like, she was like, hi, Mimi, what? I'm going to stay with you. And I snapped both those pictures at the perfect time, and we all laughed about those for about 2 hours. I actually sent them to my mother after that, and then my mother said she laughed about them. She's like, I laughed at them for about 10 minutes on my own, and she said, when your dad got home, I laughed for about 20 more minutes. And she said, then when the nurse came in to take care of Granny, she said, I showed it to the nurse, and we laughed for about another half hour. And so those two pictures have created quite the laugh riot. So they're great. And I'm going to probably do a little print of them side by side and frame them because it's epic. I mean, she makes some epic faces. It's adorable. She makes some epic faces. And her eyes are focusing longer range now. And I was rocking her the other day, and she was looking at me and smiling and talking to me, but she gets really fixated on the deer head behind the rocking chair on the wall. And I'm like, yo, kid, look at me, not the deer head, yo, kid. But she really loves the deer heads, which makes me want to laugh because Lane's first word was deer. And then his second word was Lane's deer. He thought every deer in everybody's house was his deer. So it's kind of cute that she fixates on the deer heads. She's very cute. She looks so much like Lane from like the nose down. And but she's got Kaylee's eyes. So she's a pretty little thing. She's not lost any hair. And she's never lost any weight. She's a chunk. She's growing really, really well. She's eating super great. Her tummy is sensitive sometimes, but babies these days just have sensitive tummies. And otherwise, she's spoiled rotten and doing great. I'm tickled because, you know, she's just, I think she's perfect. Of course, I'm biased, but I think she's perfect. So I want to do a lot of baby's first Christmas ornaments to bestow upon them so that they have a good head start on their family tree. So that's what I'm going for. And we have, watch one of them spring and hit me in the face. I dropped one. We have all these bracing and drying. So I'll have all of these to weave here soon. And David's going to go out tomorrow and look for more bigger willow for some of the other crafts. And I don't know if I'm going to go with him or not. It depends on the temperature in the morning. It was cold here this morning. But if I feel good, I might roam with him for a minute. I kind of overdid it this weekend. And so Monday was kind of a shutdown day for my body. I didn't do a whole lot Monday. And my body fought me really hard. But I feel better now. I just have to be super careful. That balance I have to maintain is so treacherous sometimes. But I do have to go to the post office, so it might be a good thing just to row with him and do it all in one big circle. So I may go out in the morning. But he's actively gathering all the materials for the ornament. So everything is being gathered out at all the places where he traps. So it's all natural, found in nature items. And I think for some of the ornaments, the gnomes are going to actually have like actual animal fur beards. And some of them may have yarn beards or other beards. But I think he wants to put some of them with actual real fur beards. And so we're going to shoot for that. And I've got to do a wooden nose order of 5 gazillion little wood beads because we're going to need a bunch of them. But we've got we've got some stuff coming down the pipeline. So as long as things kind of keep rolling like they're rolling, that's our plans for the Christmas crafting venture, which was a big thing last year. Like I crafted, like my kitchen was an assembly line of homemade craft presents last year. It was a big deal, a huge deal, and I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the kids' faces when they got the presents and they saw what I see in each of them. It was brought out and noted in what I created, that mimicked them. And so I enjoyed that. Also, and one of the things that I did not get on video because it came 2 days late, I ordered Joseph a belt, a leather hand-tooled belt that had a duck hunting and duck in flight scene. So it had a duck hunter, dogs, and ducks in flight. And that was one of the most beautiful hand-tooled belts I had ever purchased in my life, and he loved it. So, but he came up here for Thanksgiving. I think his belt had broken. It had been a belt he'd had for years, and he couldn't find a belt that he liked. And so I put it in the back of my head to get him a hand-tooled belt because he was kind of saying, well, they're also just, they look like everybody else's belts, and they're just black or brown. There's nothing that stands out, and so I thought, well, I'll know a few leather crafters that have eBay shops. I will go and hit them up. And I was fortunate to be able to find one that could do that scene. And it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And I didn't take any pictures, but it was really pretty. And I got Haley a mug that had me and her in cartoon form on it. And it had the things that were alike about us because we look totally different, really, but we have mannerisms that are very much alike. And so it had all the things alike about us on it, and it said Mom's Mini Me. And so she had one side was me and one side was her, and on the sides were everything that we do that was similar to each other. And that was a cute gift. But everything else was like handmade by us. So I normally buy like one gag gift a year that is like to embarrass them completely. That's I just go to make them cringe when they open it. So that's always my fun gift to purchase. And I used to, for the longest time, would buy the loudest, most obnoxious underwear. It no longer works for Lane. He will put them on his head and model them in front of everybody. He doesn't care. He has no shock value anymore. He doesn't care. He will do anything. So I can't do that for him much anymore, but every once in a while I'll still find something that will make him turn red in his cheeks. Now, David, I can still buy underwear for, and he will turn red. So last year I bought him sharks and Santa hats with presents on their fins, and I thought he was going to turn inside out to make him open underwear in front of people. But I thought they were adorable, but he doesn't like to open underwear. But if it's like atrociously loud underwear, he gets really, really, really embarrassed. So that's like my go-to gift for David every year is loud underwear. And I even bought Lane like Gnome underwear, and they had like big party hats on one year, and there was some on that had red beards, and that's why I did it. And that was the year he just looked at me and shook his head. So the funniest thing about Lane when he was an adult was the underwear and t-shirt combo that looks like the little kid Undiroos for Star Wars. It looks like the jet fighter, and then the underwear match. It looks like Luke Skywalker's jet fighter outfit. And instead of making them for like 6 years old, they made them for like 20-something and 30-something year olds. And I bought Lane an adult model that matched the little kid Undiroos. And I thought for sure that was going to make him grimace. And it didn't. He like laid it out on him, and he was like, this is cool. And I was like, I can't embarrass my child anymore. I've lost the power. So I've been trying to get into like embarrassing mom mode again and trying to think about what I can do to embarrass him this year. But we do mostly handmade stuff. So when I do purchase something, it has to be a zinger. So, and he's a sarcastic little turd, so it's hard to zing him. But he's starting to buy gifts to get me back now, which I think is hilarious. I love. I cackle and about fall off my chair every year when they try to zing me back. So if they actually ever do embarrass me, I'll let you know. I don't think it can be done, but you never know. We'll just leave that one open. But Christmas is definitely on my mind now since the weather's changing, and I start getting prepared super early. I'm one of those people, and I've already started like purchasing some stuff to set aside for crafts for Christmas. So I've been kind of preparing for a while. But we are fixing to roll over and start our seasonal creations. So things are going to get a little holly jolly early around here, I guess. But that's okay. The older I get, the more I like. If I want Christmas to vomit my house on November 1st, it's okay. It can do it. This is my world. So we'll just have fun with it and roll with it. But we need to get started early just for shipping purposes for everybody that wants to maybe get one of Dave's little gnome ideas. And I think it's a good idea. We got kind of inspired by the lady that was next to us at the pumpkin festival with her creations. But David was like, let's put our spin on it and make it from all natural stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do that. So he's pretty much patterned everything out and went and sourced all the materials. And I'm just going to help him assembly line when he needs help assembly lining. I might do the painting. There's just a little bit of haphazard painting that has to be done. And I might do that. That might be my job, just because I know he hates to paint. So, but we're going to try to really crank those out so that people that want to purchase one can. And we may stumble upon and do a couple of other different Christmas items. But I definitely think that we need to do the animal ornaments. Since I love to make the animals, everybody comment here in the live chat, or when the video loads, comment below and tell me the most outlandish animal that you like, why you like it, your story about why you think I need to turn it into an ornament. And we'll pick a couple, 3, and I'll try to make them. And if they turn out worth anything at all, I will mail it to you as a thank you for the inspiration. So everybody put your animals down below and in the comments or in the live chat, and I'll go back and review and pick a couple over the next week or so and start getting items together, and we'll try it. And we'll try to make really weird ones. We'll try to make really strange stuff. Just to test my skills. And y'all know normally when I start to make ornaments, they start out small, but they end up way larger than I anticipate. So this will be a rather large Christmas tree ornament. It will be like a center of the tree heavy branch ornament. So it won't be a little ornament. So get your animals in and comment, and we'll pick a couple of those and do those as little gifts and giveaways for people. I have been trying to get Southpaws to respond to some messages. She's left comments, and I responded to her comments, but she's not responded back or emailed me. I'm going to set those earrings aside. She's been with us so long and has been a supporter. I'm going to set those earrings aside and just try to catch her and get those to her. And so we're looking at next Sunday, either a small dream catcher or David's got an idea of a couple things. But I think we're going to try to do a small dream catcher for a giveaway Sunday. So everybody needs to make sure that you're with us for a couples check-in on Sunday, because we're going to do what is about a $30, a $25 plus shipping dream catcher as a giveaway. So the giveaways and stuff are going to become a little bit more expensive over the holidays. So make sure that you're attending our couples check-ins on Sunday and following David at Hillbilly Furs on Facebook and keeping up with us, because you definitely want to get in on the giveaways from now to Christmas, because they're going to be larger items worth a little bit more money and a little bit more substantial. So I think this will be fun for a lot of people as a way to maybe get one of the items without having to purchase it. And right now we're being blessed with, quite a few orders through his Etsy shop. So as long as we have the ability to get it shipped to you, we're gonna try to pass the blessings forward and send you all some nicer stuff through the holiday season. So that's our hope. So that's what we're planning. So I think that's about all I needed to share tonight. I made this cute little thing, which I think is terribly simple but terribly cute, and will be a cheaper option to someone instead of one of the really, heavy decorated ones. It is a pure beaver chew, which has been lacquered with a turkey feather with a water buffalo round donut bead, and it's just a little feather fan. So this is a cheaper option to the big decorative one that I did Sunday on the live. And I'll put that on Etsy and see if somebody wants to purchase that, since the one that I posted Sunday has already been purchased. And David is cutting all this stuff up for me, and I'm just trying to put it together. And he's supposed to have reduced work hours and just working normal 40-hour weeks for the foreseeable future. So I'm hoping that he has more time to do more crafts and spend more time hands-on. Because sometimes when it gets left for me to like assembly line and I have like a bad health week, it gets left completely in the dust. And I don't want that to happen during the holiday season. So I'm hoping that his hours stay controllable so that we can both do this and enjoy this and crank out more options for people if they want to visit the Etsy store. So I try to be helpful, but sometimes my health renders me useless. But at least if he's not working 70, 80 hours a week, he will be able to do more. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to try to get into some macrame stuff for the holidays as well. So you might see a little bit of that. But definitely going to have some bigger projects, some bigger giveaways, some more fun. And we're going to get into the holiday mojo early. Because I'm 44, and if I want to, I can. So we're just gonna kind of go. It's Christmas sometimes here on this channel, even though it may still be warm outside. We're just gonna make believe it's Christmas already, and we're gonna have some fun and make some cute things and celebrate and make each other smile. And so make sure you put your animal ornament ideas down below so I can take a couple for inspiration. And if I choose yours and I make it and it looks like it and I'm proud of it, I'll send it to you. So everybody get their animal listed below. And if you want to do the pine cone gnomes with me, if you can find pine cones that are 3 to 6 inches in length, you may have to go run into a neighbor's yard that has white pines or even a long skinny pine cones. But as long as they're a substantial size pine cone, I'm going to use those felt. And you can either use macrame string, yarn, an old mop head. You can use lots of things to make the beard. And you can use a wood bead for the nose, or you can roll up tinfoil and put a little silver nose on him. Draw, you can do lots of things. You don't have to make it exactly the way I make it, but if you start looking for these items now, when I make those gnomes, then you can have your stuff gathered up so that you make your version of a gnome while I'm making my gnome. And that way you're prepped and ready for that craft. So we're going to be making another bottle gnome, pine cone gnomes, and then we're going to be doing David's beaver chew willow gnomes, which are going to be really pretty and very natural, authentic. So we'll be doing a lot of that. So start looking for old flannel shirts, pieces of felt, old string material, even old mop heads that you can bleach and use as their beards. Gems, beads, wood beads, marbles. You can use anything as a nose. Get creative and get you some hot glue or some I'm losing my words. Super glue, and then get you some E6000. So you can super glue it immediately and it'll hold, then you can put you some E6000 in it. After 24 hours, that marble won't move. You can use marbles for noses. You can get really creative. So start looking around the house and finding your crafting options to make gnomes. And then here in a few weeks, we'll meet back and we'll start the gnome parade. Well, probably earlier than a few weeks. We'll start the gnome parade and we'll start doing those crafts together. And just get your little basket and start putting stuff in there and be like, I think this might work. I think, and we'll just talk about it while we're crafting. If you have a question, put it up on the screen and we'll all just try to make something together. So everybody start gathering your materials because it's fixing to start again this year. We're going to have a good Christmas. We're going to have a good crafting Christmas again this year. I'm determined to not let the winter weather get me down, even though I know that it's going to be colder, not know what, because my bones are telling me and all the animals are telling me. That coyote that David skinned today had the thickest undercoat on him. It's going to be bad. That bear, I told you, had 5 inches of fat and gristle on its back. That's an indicator that it's going to be a bad winter. So, but I'm determined to not let the cold weather get me down. So I'm also determined to not let world leaders and the craziness and the fear change my mood and change my plans. So I just kind of made I'm not listening to anybody that's full of hot air right now. I'm doing my own thing and I'm living in my own world, and I'll deal with it when it comes to my front door and it affects me, but I'm not going to follow the fear, and I'm not going to, have anybody lead me down a path of fear. And I'm certainly not going to buy into it and put negative energy out there in anticipation of what may happen. I'm going to wait, because if you put that energy out there like you're already in a fearful mode, you're going to make it happen. So I refuse to give them any of that energy. I'm staying positive and kind of aloof to the news media, doing my own thing, staying in a good, healthy mindset, and enjoying my home and my life and my world. And be damned the political leaders of this world. They can just go away for a while. I'm doing my own thing. I'm dead set on being happy, and I think everybody should be. And everybody's like, well, they've lost the submarines with the nukes on them. No, they haven't. Somebody knows exactly where it is. Don't worry. And to be quite honest, if somebody sets it off, you're not going to have time to worry. So don't worry. Don't worry. I'm just really kind of laid back, I know not everybody has the comfort that I have in that regard, but I would hope that you would seek that comfort and have a little talk with Jesus before it gets too much longer in the tooth here on this world. But I'm just dead set on staying in my happy place and knowing where my comfort comes from, and just kind of rejoicing in the good days that I have, that I've been given to live through. Because something, man messes up everything, and that's a gimme. It's going to happen. And if I can put positivity out when other people are just focused on negativity, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to stay positive. And I hope that you all come here and stay positive with me. I think it really does change the face of the world when positivity is pushed out. And all you have to do is research, the Internet of Things, or the Internet of Bodies, and all of that, to understand kind of what's being done, and realize why it is so important to stay aware, stay focused on you, and stay positive and self-aware. And so if you look up those things, you'll know why you need to focus on being happy and focus on staying in control of your own existence. And that's what I'm doing this year. And I hope you all follow me down that path and stay happy and healthy and focused on the good things, instead of being led by the nose to fear every minute and second you're on this earth. You should not spend your life doing that. And anyone that wants you to do that needs to get over themselves and out from behind the podium, and hopefully out of the Oval Office. Just say that. So I'm just really kind of over being led by the nose by politicians that don't care about anyone. So pretty much all politicians can go suck a big one for all I care. That's just where I am right now. So, got to be happy, and happiness is a choice. It's a mental state, and it's a choice you make every day. So I'm going to be happy every good body day, every good leg day, every day that I am functioning well enough to do a craft and to take care of my home and to spend time with my family is going to be a win for me. And I'm going to smile and take it and be happy, and know that I'm probably happier than 90% of the people on the earth, but I know that it's a choice I'm making. So I hope that maybe people will see me making that choice and go, hey, I can make that choice too. I can be positive. I can be happy. I can look at this a different way, and I can be in control of my own world and how, the mood is, and what dictates the mood. You should be able to control that. You should be able to control your environment. So, there's not much more that I can control, but this house is my turf, and I will control it, and it's going to be a happy home. And that's just where I am. So I hope everyone makes that decision. It would really create a huge positive shift in the world if you did. So it really is a choice to be happy. And I sit here with a terminal disorder and lots of health issues, and I'm still smiling. So it is a choice, and it can be done. So lots of days I have to get up when I don't want to and kind of force it. But then once I ease into the day and kind of get the energy going, it happens naturally. So you just kind of got to get yourself in the routine of smiling and being happy and seeing the positives. So I hope everybody just kind of thinks about that, and maybe just, for a couple minutes before you crawl out of your warm bed on these cold mornings, You know, think about how nice it is to have a warm bed, how nice it is to have a warm house, how nice it is to have a blanket that keeps you warm, how nice it is to have those 2 or 3 minutes to sit there and think about the day before you have to start it and go to work, and how pleasant it is to have a job that is still paying you a living wage and working. You know, there are lots of things to be thankful for that we think are horrible parts of our existence, but they're not. They're blessings if you really think about it. So I know that I did not appreciate work as much as I should have. And now that I can no longer work and my health is kind of crappy, that is the thing I miss the most, is being useful to society and my fellow man. I miss that the most. So if you have a job and you're able to work, be thankful, because you will miss it when you can no longer go out and do that. It is a huge part of who you are, and it is a huge part of your like self-worth that we kind of program in, and sometimes we can go overboard on that, but it's still a positive to feel useful in this world. Not a lot of people do right now. So if you still feel useful in this world, it's positive. Embrace it, smile about it, be happy. And there's so much to be thankful for. And I try to think about that. Most days I'm stuck at home. I can't do a lot of stuff. I can't go a lot of places on my own. Even just getting down the hill to visit Mama Granny has been a trial the last few months with my health. But you know, I'm doing better than I have in years prior. My blood work is leveling out and things are going better than my doctors anticipated, because they expected that I would be actually kind of progressing in the other route. And right now my body seems to be like plateauing, stabilizing, and handling some smaller health issues that it hadn't handled in a few years. And so my blood work is actually better than it's been in a few years. Huge blessing. So I'm thinking if I stay in this healthy category for a few more months, maybe I will garner enough consistent strength to be able to do more and to be able to visit more and be more consistent. And that's something I miss, is not the consistency. I don't have that consistency since my health has tanked. So if you just have the ability to walk out and go down 3 porch steps every morning, sometimes you're doing better than me. So smile. It's a positive. So I just want everyone to kind of revamp the way you view things, because people are certainly trying to change the way we're viewing each other in the world. And if they're trying to change it, then we should certainly sit back and say, no, I'm going to be in control of this, and I'm going to see it my way, and I'm going to see it in a positive way. You know, so I am absolutely stuck on being positive. So that's a big thing for me. So I hope you all stick with me, and we have a good crafting Christmas, and we're going to start early because I say we can. And get your animal options listed below. Tell me why it's your favorite animal, why you want me to make that ornament. And the ones I pick when I make them, I will send them to you if I choose your animal and it turns out to be worth anything. We'll do a challenge me with hard animals. Challenge me, because y'all know I like to be creative. So challenge me with hard animals, and we'll see what I come up with. That will be something that I will be looking forward to, and that will keep me excited about crafting. And then we'll try to get through the Christmas ornaments and David's Etsy stuff, you know, as we can. But we got to have some fun along the way too. Grab your gnome materials, start a basket, start chucking stuff in it. Here in a couple of weeks, we'll start making gnomes together, and we're just going to have fun and be creative. So if you have a craft that you want me to try, if you're unsure of how to proceed with it and you want to see me try to make it easier or make it less expensive, toss me an email, respond to the video, talk to me about it. We'll certainly go over it and see if I can help you. I have lots of cheap ways that I do things that I don't care a bit to share. And lots of times I make these ornaments so that you can see me make them, so that you can make them at home as well. And so that you don't have to rely on somebody, you know, to purchase them. So, you know, I don't mind at all for you to watch me, because I want you to make these for yourselves. They're supposed to be homemade, and they're supposed to hold memories. So I want you to make them for yourselves. So the hardest thing probably to find will be the pine cones, unless you have a store that carries them and you want to pay for them. I like to rummage for them, put them in a baggie with salt, put them in a Ziploc baggie with salt, shake it every day. The salt will kill any insects that are in the pine cones, and then we take them out, you'll have clean pine cones. So you don't have to put a lot of salt, just enough to shake and kind of get into the pine cones every day, and just tumble it every day. And that salt will dry out and kill any insects that are living in the pine cones. So in a few days, you will have clean pine cones. Cheap tip for anybody that likes to gather natural pine cones. I'm also thinking about making a sweet gum Christmas tree out of sweet gum balls. I don't know if everybody knows what those are. I made one when I was in 4th grade. It took an eternity, but it was so pretty, and you don't see them anymore. So I'm thinking about making those, and all that takes is 11, 7, 4, 3, and 1. However, that adds up to have that many sweet gum balls, toothpicks, and Elmer's glue. And then you can spray paint it, you can glitter paint it, whatever you want to, or you can leave it natural. But you stack them after you get all the toothpicks and all the holes, and you stack them and make a Christmas tree. They're very pretty, and I haven't seen them lately in the last few years, but everybody around here used to make them. We made them as crafts in school when we were kids. It does take a while to get all the toothpicks and all the holes. I'm not going to lie. But it's great conversation if you have friends that like to sit around the kitchen table. Great way to spend an evening, and y'all can help each other make Christmas trees. And they're very pretty, and they do actually keep. Like Mom had mine for about a decade, so they actually keep pretty easily. And if a toothpick breaks, you just replace it the next year. It's not a big deal. That is something that looks really a lot like a primitive decor item. So we may make one of those. If I can find a picture, I'll toss a picture on the community page so you have an idea of what we're going for. Because not everybody, I'm sure, knows what a sweet gum ball is. So I know I live a weird life. But we're going to tackle some weird things. So I'm glad to have you along with me, and I need to shut up so we can all go to bed because I've been talking way too long. I'm going to list a couple things on Etsy and hit the hay. And David should be home in about an hour. I'm so thankful to be back on normal schedule. I was about to die. And as long as they keep him at his 40 hours, we're going to be getting a lot done because he will be home and he will be able to help and kind of keep me on task. So we should be good to go. So prep, guys. Craft time's fixing to hit us. I'm going to go put this on Etsy. It's going to be one of the cheaper items. Because of the length, shipping is still the butthole of a purchase, but I'm going to try to make this cheap enough that it's not going to break the bank. And tomorrow is going to be jewelry loading day. And the day after that is going to be key fob and key ring loading day. So I've got them all categorized and laid out, and I'm just taking pictures and editing right now. So I'm getting there. I had to clean my house today, so I got behind. But we're moving right along. So Etsy store is being loaded. The Etsy store for David is Hillbilly Heart Decor. And over the next 3 weeks, it's going to boom. So be prepared. It's got like 19 items in it right now. It's probably going to have 60 or 70 by the time we get done. So everybody can go visit once we get it loaded and pilfer and see if we have anything that y'all can't live without. But if not, if you can't afford something like that, just come back, bring your basket, crafting tools, and we'll sit down and make homemade stuff for the next few weeks to prepare for Christmas, and we'll have a good time doing it. Okay, I'm going to hit the hay. Denise, everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. And don't forget, Sunday Couples Chat is going to be a large giveaway day, so make sure that you and everyone you know comes here and comments and talks and keeps, every comment enters you for another chance to win the giveaway, and we do the giveaway before we log off, so you know if you've won before we log off. So everybody be here, invite other people, have them here. I like it when we have large crowds and y'all have those sidebar conversations and you make new friends. And I don't care if I have to count through 300 comments. It's worth it just to have a crowd here and meet new people. So invite your friends, get them here, and it's going to be a smaller dream catcher, but it's still going to be probably 8 to 10 inches around. Well, it's going to be like that. At least like that. So everybody get prepared, enter in that. It's going to be, and it's not going to be plain Jane. I'm going to pimp it out. So make sure you come in Sunday and talk, jabber with everybody for a chance to win that. That is going to be Sunday's giveaway. And that's about a $35 with shipping and everything. That's about a $35 freebie for y'all. So make sure you're with us Sunday. That's going to be a biggie. Hope we have a big crowd. I like the crowds. So I'm going to shut up now and go to bed. I love you. I don't know what time I will see you tomorrow because I've got so much stuff to do, but I will check in at some point, possibly make a craft with you, and you will see me at some point tomorrow. Probably not early, though. Not going to lie. All right, I'm going to bed. Y'all, think of something positive. Send out some love before you fall asleep tonight, and I guarantee you'll wake up in a better mood tomorrow. Night, guys. Love yous.